So now we want to talk about the benefits and limitations of employing part-time workers or full-time workers. A part-time employee is someone who works fewer hours than a full-time employee. So there is no specific number of hours that makes someone full or part-time. But a full-time employee will usually work 35 hours or more a week. The number of full-time hours which employees usually work in a week will vary from one country to another. The contract of employment will show a different number of hours depending on whether it is a part-time or full-time job. Some employees prefer part-time contracts. For example, students who also have college work to do, or parents with childcare responsibility. So be a part-time worker. You are a part-time worker because you do less hours than a full-time worker. Yeah. That's the meaning of a part-time worker. Yes. For a full-time worker, you must at least work 35 hours or more within a week. Yes. That's what a full-time worker is. Yeah. So you choose the kind of category you want to belong to based on your situation. Mm-hmm. You might think you need to work at the same time study. Then you can't do a full-time job. You need to take a part-time job. You get it? Yes. Good. And if you think of working in two or more different organizations, you can't take a full-time job. You need to take a part-time job.
Two jobs, part-time job. That's it.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
So we start with the benefits of the benefits to a business of employing part-time employees. The first one, more flexible in the hours of work. So part-time employees are flexible in the hours of work. Why? Because they will choose the time. They would have given you that time that suits your demand. They won't be available when they don't have the time. So you would have agreed to choose. You would have agreed the time because it's the time that they are available. Yes. So there's flexible working hour there. Yes. Do you get it? Mm-hmm. So easier to ask employees just to work at busy times. So because they are part-time workers, you might as a business you might have known the time that your business is the peak period for your business. So you might employ them for that reason, that, oh, you'll be working as a part-time worker, but it's going to be during the peak period. That is when you need it. So you only employ part-time workers that can fit into that peak period.
Yes.
The third one, easier to extend business operating hours by working evenings or at a weekend. Because they are part-time workers, they might be able to work on weekends for you.
Yeah.
I think it's clear.
Yes.
Fits in with looking after children, and therefore employees willing to accept lower pay. The cost of employment might be low because part-time workers might not be getting more pay based on the fact that they won't be available all the time.
Yes.
And someone who needs the job and still wants to go to school might accept a lower pay to just get the opportunity to get the money. Reduces business costs compared to employing and paying a full-time employee. The cost of employment, the cost for firms reduces. Why? Because full-time employees have different benefits that they will get.
Yes.
But part-time employees might not get it. Part-time employees will not get paid holiday. Full-time employees will get paid holiday.
Paid holiday?
Yeah. There's holiday they will still be paid. Part-time workers will not be paid. They will be paid based on hours they work. Clear?
Yes.
In some countries, it is easier to make part-time workers redundant. So you can make them redundant. Yeah. You don't have to pay them a redundancy fee. Then what are the problems of employing part-time workers? Number one, less likely to seek training because the employees may see the job as temporary. They might not want to be trained because they don't see they are not going to be there forever. They see it as a job that after a while they will stop if there's a new opportunity. So it takes longer to recruit 2 part-time workers than 1 full-time employee. Mm-hmm. It is difficult because when you talk about employing 2 part-time workers, it means you need to employ one that suits the time, and the other that will be able to work in that time that this one will not be able to work. Yeah. So you need someone to work from 12 to 5 and someone else to work from 5 to 12. So you might get someone from 12 to 5. You might find it difficult to find someone to get from 5 to 12. So it is easier for you to get someone that will work all day than to find someone that will fit in to different times.
Yeah.
It takes longer time.
Yes.
The third one, part-time employees can be less committed to the business and may be more likely to leave to get another job. So they are not loyal to the organization. Oh, yeah. They won't be loyal because their loyalty will be divided.
They will not have that efficiency. I mean, they will not interact that, they will not involve more.
Yeah, they won't get involved.
Yeah,
they won't get involved more into the organization. So their loyalty is divided.
Yeah.
less likely to be promoted because they will not have gained the same skills and experience as full-time employees. They won't if they are part-time workers, they won't even get promotion.
Yeah.
More difficult to communicate with part-time employees when they are not in work. Like now, I might take a part-time job, but it's difficult for my employers to talk to me because I'm not there. They might not find me.
Oh, yeah, because they're not.
So as soon as I'm done with the job, you might not see me again until the next time I have a job with you. So it's difficult to communicate with them.
Yeah.
I think it's clear. So go to the importance of training and methods of training. So before we go to the importance of training, what is training? Training improves the skills of workforce to enable them to carry out or to perform their task more efficiently.
Yes.
That is what training does. So what are the importance of training? There should be a clear objective for training employees. Training is important to a business as it may be used to, one, introduce a new process or new equipment. This is one way of induction.
Yes.
So training, the purpose of training is, one, to introduce to workers new equipment or new methods. Two, to improve efficiency of the workforce because now they have improved their skills, so they should be more efficient. The third one, provide training for unskilled workers to make them more valuable to the company. So training can also make unskilled workers to become skilled.
Yes.
Decrease supervision needed. With training, you don't need to monitor or supervise workers because now they can do the job well. Yeah. So they don't need to be monitored. To improve the opportunity for internal promotion. Some workers are trained because they want to be promoted. So they need to know their next job. They need to know how to, they need to be trained on how to do their next job because they've gotten promotion.
Oh, okay. Yes.
So most of the time when workers are being trained, they are likely to get a promotion.
Yes.
Decrease the chances of accidents. With training, you know what to do, so you won't be making mistakes. Employees should be clear about the benefits of the training or they will not work hard or take the training seriously. So it is important to let employees know the importance of being trained. So training is usually trying to achieve one or more of the following. One, to increase skills, to increase knowledge, to improve employees' attitudes, to encourage them to accept, change, and raise awareness. That is flexibility. With training, it improves or increases flexibility of workforce.
Yes.
So we go to different types of training. We have induction, we have on the job, and we have off the job. We start with induction. Induction is carried out when an employee is new to the job. So induction is a training that you receive as soon as you get employed. Okay. You are new to the job. You'll be inducted to know how things are done in the organization. That's induction.
Yes.
So the induction program will last sometimes for a day, sometimes for several days. It depends on the company and the particular job. So when that's about the induction, let's see if we have advantages about it. Yeah, the advantages of induction training. One, it helps new employees to settle into the job quickly. So when you are being inducted, it allows you to settle well. Yeah. So it's just like you've started the job for a long time because of induction. Two, maybe a legal requirement to give health and safety training at the start of a job. It is also because it is important, it is ethical to train your workers on safety rules. So you can do that with induction. Yes. Means workers are less likely to make mistakes. With induction, workers know the job already, so they won't be making mistakes. They might not make mistakes.
Yeah, that's mistake.
So what are the problems about induction? One, it is time consuming because you have to train them. It has to go through rigorous training. So you have to it takes time to train them. Yes. Two, means wages are paid, but no work is being done by the worker. Because they already start working. Yeah. So their induction is also part of their work, but they are not producing, but they will be paid for not producing. Yes. Delays the start of the employee commencing their job. They won't be able to start the job because they've not finished their induction. Do you get it? Yeah, so it delays the time at which they are supposed to start the job. Yes. But they will be paid. Yeah,
trade-off.
It's a trade-off, yeah.
Yeah, because that's what's supposed to be.
Yeah, it's a trade-off. So we go to on-the-job training. For on-the-job training, yeah, they said this is when the person is trained by watching a more experienced worker doing the job. So this is a training in the premises of the organization. You are being trained in the premises of the organization by an experienced worker. Yes. That is on the job. Do you get it? Yeah. So what are the advantages of on the job? One, individual tuition is given and it is in the workplace. So the employee does not need to be sent away. Travel costs are expensive. So because it happens here, because it happens within the premises of the organization. Okay. So the employee does not need to travel a far distance for training.
Yes.
That means you're not going to spend transportational cost. 2, it ensures that there is some production from the worker while they are training. They are training. So it means the employee will not be training. It will be practicing too. So that means he might or she might be doing some things too. He might be producing.
Training, yeah.
The third one. It ensures there is it's usually costs less than off-the-job training. It is less expensive than off-the-job training. The last one, it is training tailored to the specific needs of the business. So when you are training through on the job, it means you are being trained on the role you'll be performing in that organization. So you'll be trained specifically on your own role. As an accountant, you'll be trained in the account department. And you'll be trained on how to use accounting softwares or whatever it needs to be.
Yeah.
So what are the problems of on-the-job training? Number one, the trainer will not be as productive as usual because they are showing the trainee what to do instead of getting on with their job. So the first problem is that as a trainee, as a trainer, you won't be able to work as you usually work when nobody is distracting you. But here, the trainee is distracting you. You have to put him through it. So your job will not be as fast as it used to be.
Yes.
So you'll be less productive. 2, the trainer may have bad habits and they may pass this on to the trainee. The trainers, they might have different shortcuts to do their job, which is not good for the company. They will train you on how to use the shortcuts too. They will pass on bad habits to you. You will see them doing it.
Yes.
Maybe he eats while working, then you will start eating too while working.
Yeah.
The third one, it may not lead to training qualifications recognized outside the business. You might not be getting a certificate for that. You might not be getting a certificate for it. When I train you to work, so am I going to give you a certificate?
No.
But when you are being trained outside, you might be receiving a certificate.
I get it.
You get it here. So we go to off-the-job training. For off-the-job training, this is training from outside the organization.
Outside.
That means you are being trained by specialists. You are being trained by companies.
It's like courses, like.
Yes, that's off-the-job.
Yeah.
So this is where the worker goes away from the place where they work. This may be to a different part of the building, or it may be at a different place altogether, such as a college or specialist training center. The techniques used to train workers are more varied and can involve more complex tasks. Off-the-job training often involves classroom learning, using lecture, role play, case studies, or computer simulations. So that is off-the-job. You are being trained outside the organization. So what are the advantages of off-the-job training? Number one, a broad range of skills can be taught using these techniques. Because you'll be trained by specialists, you'll be trained by skilled workers.
Yes.
So it means they will teach you different kinds of skills that will be useful. Unlike when you are using on the job, which the only experienced worker will be the one to train you. But here you'll be trained by different facilitators. So if these courses are taught in the evening after work, they are cheaper for the business because the employee will still carry on their normal duties during the day. So the employers might also have the opportunity to do the training after work. So that means employees will still be working in the morning and go for their training in the evening.
Yes,
the third one, the business will only need to pay for the cost and it will also not lose the output of the employee. So for all of the job training, you just have to pay for the cost. And the employees will take the job. They will take the training.
Wait.
The business will only need to pay for the cost and it will not also lose the output of the employee because it happens in the evening.
Yeah.
So the workers will be working. They only have to pay for the cost. It's the continuation of the second.
Okay. Okay.
Did you get it now?
Yes, I get it.
Yeah, the fourth one. Employees may be taught a variety of skills, becoming multi-skilled, and this makes them more versatile. They can be moved around the company when the need arises. So they might be trained on different aspects of operations, and that makes them multi-skilled, which might be useful for the organization.
Yes.
Yeah, it brings about flexibility. The last one, it often uses expert trainers who have up-to-date knowledge of the business practices. So they will be trained by experts who have updated information, updated resources, updated equipment, because that is their business, that is their company. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Then the problems about off-the-job training. One, it is expensive. So it means wages are paid, but no work is being done by the worker. If they have to partake in the training in the morning session.
Same thing as induction. They have like there is no work, but
They get paid.
they
Yes.
paid, yeah.
The third one, the additional qualification means it is easier for the employee to leave and find another job because they now have skills. They have additional qualification. They will be given a certificate that allows them to look for a job elsewhere. Then it becomes a loss for the company.
Yeah.
Is it clear?
Yes, 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 yes.
That's all about training.
Yeah.